Good day everyone, good morning people. So today another topic to be discussed talks about the principles of interior and exterior design focusing on the hospitality and tourism industry. And to start this discussion, allow me to introduce to you first the scope of this lesson. So first, we will be discussing the basic principles of design, both interior and exterior of hospitality facilities. And of course, we will be demonstrate the importance of design in hospitality facilities planning. Next, identify designs and evaluate the relationship of the interior and exterior designs. Alright, to start, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? The hospitality and industry design is a very powerful component to promote a place, an event, or a site. Design plays a significant role in creating the necessary ambience to promote the concept of lodging, food and beverage, recreation, and transportation, all of which are components of the hospitality and tourism industry. It is imperative that professionals in the hospitality and tourism industry be well versed in communicating their ideas with the design professionals to optimize the delivery of the overall concept of the project. Design has the capacity to influence people's perceptions and actions. It can create conditions and situations on how people will act, react, and gravitate to a specific object or space. Designing is seen in every aspect of human life and activity. The process of creating design allows the development of an object to be appealing to the recipients. And lastly, to let you know, designing in the hospitality industry is not limited to the provision of architecture. It includes the whole branding of the space, both the exterior and interior. So, in short, this discussion will enlighten us how designing the interior or exterior is very important in this industry. To sum up, design is the core of this industry to attract not just people associated into the business, but of course to the competitors. Alright, before we proceed, may I ask, what is designing for you anyway? We keep on hearing these words, so I bet everybody, I know, we keep on hearing these words, so I bet everyone has an idea. So anyone? If none, so let's proceed to what is designing. So, designing, it is a process of creating a plan and specifications for making or producing an object or space for implementation to address a specific goal or provide a solution to a particular problem. The design takes into account aesthetics, function, and utility, and takes cognizance of economic and sociological issues socio-political issues that create the culture in the environment. So we all know what is designing, so I will not be discussing it furthermore because later on I am going to share to you an example of designing in contrary to the hospitality and tourism industry. Alright, so we are done with the definition of the designing. So let's now proceed to the importance of the design. So importance of design in the hospitality and tourism industry. So the attributes of the things around us can be defined by the concepts both about by the influence of the environment at a certain time. There are influential factors that create a defined state of mind on how we respond as they affect emotion. One of the primary characteristics of design, as defined in the previous discussion, is aesthetic. So what do you mean by aesthetic? So aesthetic, it is a quality of an object, person, or space that is related to one's perception of things brought about by their environment. So aesthetic is a philosophical condition or study of both beauty and taste. So we could also use the word esthetician to refer a person who knows to acknowledge or appreciate the things they can see around them. So I think that's it. That's the esthetician. So for most people, our eyes are the first among the senses, and more often than that, the strongest organs that will help our mind process our perception of things. So the aesthetic of an environment is the first impression that is imprinted in the minds of people. So may ito siya lang ko sa iyo na aesthetic ini siya kay refers to condition o yon bitaw kun una yon yakita nimo na beauty or nature. So amo yan aesthetic. Nature niya na kung unay total na makita nato amo yaon ang aesthetic. So as mentioned earlier, our eyes are the first among the senses. So whatever we see, automatic mag-generate yaon sa ato utok, and then kung ano man mukuan sa ato utok, that's the time that we can respond or react to what we see. So for example, kung unay ato yakita sa ato palibot is gwapa. So ang mo-generate sa ato utok kay gwapa ang putang, so makarespond kita ng gwapa. So ana siya. So one of the important also of the design is design in the hospitality and tourism industry is a fundamental component in providing the total experience to not just the clientele but to all the players in the industry. So meaning to say, ang design sa hospitality and tourism industry is very fundamental component na need ng isa ka hospitality and tourism industry. Why? Kay nganha ang design ang mag-provide ng total experience, di na lamang para sa client, pero para sa mga yaon nagtrabaho sa yaon hospitality and tourism industry. Also, it influences how we move in spaces and interact with other users. The design of the facilities in the industry, whether for accommodation, food and beverage, and transportation, foretells the overall experience of the user. So this is one of the important thing in the hospitality and tourism industry to foretells overall experience of the users. So the design foretells the overall experience of the users. So kung unoy makita ng for example, let's take for example ako ang customer or client, and then if mukan na ako sa hotel, ang pinakauna ko dayon tanawon siya as a client or customer is an unay front or facade, ang front building, unay color, unay design, unay decoration, unay whatsoever na makita sa gawas. And then aside from that, pag sud ko, I would also check ono an ilayaon sa sud, especially an accommodation. Di na lamang kun sa yaon higdaan, sa rooms, but also to the overall experience ko sa hotel. Especially sa front desk, sa mga staff, how they handle customer. So that's also one of the important things because design also foretells the overall experience. If the users and design is very important kay if the users and design is very important kay di lamang siya ga foretells but also encourages users na yaon magbalik-balik balitaw. Yaon dili sumulan, dili takhan dili mataka tungod kay giganahan. So that's also depends on the design. Kung gwapa ang design, then magbalik-balik dayon ang customer or ang total package ng design. So next, there are specific designs and concepts that appeal to the overall experience of the users. So yes, that is correct. May mga specific design for a certain age group. For example, ang mga users kay mga teenagers. So may mga specific design or architecture or interior or exterior na specified lang na para sa yaon na edad o para sa economic status. So kung ang imo business, let's say kung sa tourism industry o mukuan kita sa tourism industry, what one the best example is yaon bitaw mga recreational na lugar or recreational na tourist spot wherein many specific design for this age and then may specific design para sa tanan age and then may specific design sa para sa kuan sa mga lower age. For example, kung sa recreational activities, may mga recreational activities na intended lamang para sa mga bata. May mga recreational activities na design only for mga tiguang na. And then may recreational activity design only for tiguang o bata pa. So, ang mayon siya. So, next, some may gravitate toward something they are familiar with, while the more adventurous individual or cohorts seek a novel experience that will interest them further. So yeah, isa design na mayton intended na sa mga adventurous. And then the design of an establishment has to imbibe a vibe to develop a culture and eventually a brand that would be synonymous with the place. It is essential to understand that design contributes a tremendous impact in creating a cohesive overall experience, from the design of its facade, interior, and to its smallest details. So when we say facade, it is the front of the building or the face of the building. So kunyaon kita sa karsada, and then kunya katubang kita sa isa ka establishment. Kung uni ato makita, that's what we call the facade. Then the exterior, the interior, that's include the wall na yaon sa lobby. Yaon ang floor, ang tiles, and then ang mga decoration, the chandeliers. So that is included to the interior and also the smallest details. So next, a facility or establishment can be divided into exterior and interior spaces in terms of its architecture. So when we say exterior, that is outside, and then when we say the interior, that is inside. So this delineation of areas is an important factor in creating and conveying the brand of the establishment. Generally speaking, the exterior of an establishment can be the entrance gate of a complex, a facade of a structure, or a wall that divides the hallway and the facilities. The experience of a space is not limited to walk, floors, and ceiling of a structure. It is the total amalgamation of different elements, including the decorations, and to a great degree, the clothes that the staff wears. So, in order to provide a clear understanding of the exterior and interior parts of a structure, it is imperative to discuss the visual design elements. So,
Pictures of facades hotel design, gate hotel design, and wall that divides the hallway hotel design. Facade hotel design. Gate hotel design. Walls that divides the hallway hotel design.
that's all. Thank you for listening